You probably think it's just bad sleep. Maybe a full bladder. Maybe stress. But what if I told you that waking up at 3 a.m., regularly, quietly, consistently, might be your body's way of whispering that something deeper is going on? Let's be clear. This isn't about tossing and turning once in a while. I'm talking about waking up like clockwork, somewhere between 2:30 and 4 a.m., night after night. Eyes wide open. Heart maybe beating faster than usual. Thoughts racing. Or worse, your mind blank, but your body alert. And you're not alone. Thousands of seniors over 65 across the US and Europe report this exact phenomenon. But here's the thing most people don't realize. This strange little wake-up call could be a signal. Not just from your sleep cycle, but from your liver, your brain, even your emotional health. It might be your body asking for help, quietly, gently, but urgently. So if you're one of the many seniors waking up at 3 a.m. and shrugging it off, this is your wake-up call too, pun intended. Before we get deeper, if you're finding this topic important, take a second to like the video and subscribe for more content focused on senior health, elderly wisdom, and reflections that matter. Let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? I read every reply. Now let's get into what might really be happening. Let me tell you about Lorraine, a 72-year-old retired schoolteacher from Vermont. 4 months, she found herself waking at 3:11 a.m. Always 3:11. At first, she blamed it on habit, then on the old mattress, and eventually on age. But when she finally spoke to her doctor, they uncovered something important. Her cortisol levels were spiking too early. Why? Chronic, unspoken stress. Her husband had passed 2 years earlier. She never talked about it. She thought she was fine. But her body? Her body remembered. According to research published by the National Institutes of Health, cortisol, a hormone released in response to stress, follows a rhythm that should peak around 6 to 8 a.m. But when the body perceives an unresolved emotional threat, like grief or anxiety, cortisol can rise prematurely, jolting you awake during the night. That 3 a.m. moment? That might be your nervous system trying to shield you, not disturb you. In Eastern medicine, it's said the liver works between 1 and 3 a.m. And while you may or may not believe in energy cycles, modern science is showing us similar patterns. Your liver is doing heavy detox work at night. So if you wake up feeling hot, restless, or thirsty, especially if you had alcohol, heavy food, or medication late at night, your liver could be overwhelmed. This isn't just folklore. A 2019 study published in the journal Sleep Health found a strong correlation between late-night glucose spikes, liver stress, and interrupted sleep in adults over 65. Frank, an 80-year-old widower in Ontario, had been waking at 3 a.m. like clockwork. No pain, no panic, just wide awake. It turned out his blood sugar was crashing. He wasn't diabetic. But he had started skipping dinner because he wasn't hungry. His glucose dropped overnight, and his brain kicked into survival mode. Wake up, we're out of fuel. After adjusting his meals to include a slow-digesting carb and protein in the evening, his sleep normalized within 2 weeks. It was that simple. And then there's your heart. Yes, your heart. Many seniors dismiss nighttime wake-ups as just age-related nuisance. But a study from Harvard Medical School found that 3 a.m. is one of the most common times for nocturnal heart rhythm changes in the elderly. It doesn't mean you're having a heart attack. But frequent wake-ups, especially with a racing heart, shortness of breath, or a sense of dread, can be an early warning sign of arrhythmia or even sleep apnea. Don't ignore this. Just don't. But let's not forget the emotional side of all this. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't always come with a diagnosis, it can come with memories. Loneliness. A heavy mind. That hour is quiet. Dark. And often, it's when seniors feel most alone. If you find yourself awake and sad, or wide-eyed with nowhere to go mentally, you are not alone. That space between night and morning is the loneliest place for many. And emotional processing during sleep, especially REM cycles, can be disrupted by suppressed grief, regrets, or even unspoken anger. Margaret, 77, from Glasgow, wrote in her journal. "It's like my soul wakes up before my body does. It wants to speak to me in the dark, when no one else is around." That kind of emotional wisdom often gets ignored. But it matters. Because sleep is not just rest. It's emotional integration. And let's keep listening to what your body's been trying to say in the silence of 3 a.m. Because here's the truth most people ignore. If this has been happening to you regularly, it's not just a sleep issue, it could be a health warning wrapped in routine. One that, if you understand, can actually help you prevent bigger issues down the road. Let's talk about one of the most common culprits behind mid-sleep awakenings. Your kidneys. You see, after 65, your kidneys don't function the way they used to. They become more sensitive to hydration levels, and less efficient at concentrating urine. That's why so many seniors report waking up in the middle of the night with an urge to urinate, what doctors call nocturia. But here's the part you might not know: frequent nocturia isn't just inconvenient, it's a sign that your heart and kidneys might be under more stress than you think. Dr. Neil Patel, a nephrologist from Boston, has seen this pattern again and again. Seniors who wake up 2-3 times every night often have undiagnosed hypertension, early heart failure, or worsening kidney function. It starts subtly. You think it's just age. Just more bathroom trips. But over time, the cycle builds. Less sleep means higher blood pressure, which then stresses the kidneys even more, a silent loop that slowly wears the body down. And if you're waking at 3 a.m. with cold feet, chills, or a heavy feeling in your chest, don't brush it off. That might be your circulatory system struggling. A study from the American Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that nighttime wake-ups between 2 o'clock and 4 a.m. were strongly linked to reduced heart rate variability, a subtle marker of increased cardiovascular risk. Meaning, your heart might be working overtime, while the rest of your body is supposed to rest. Now let's switch gears a little, because we also need to talk about blood sugar, especially if you're not diabetic. Yes, you read that right. Even seniors without diabetes are at risk of blood sugar fluctuations that interrupt sleep. Here's how it happens. You eat dinner at 6 p.m. Maybe a light meal because your appetite isn't what it used to be. By 3 a.m., your body's burned through those calories, and if you didn't eat enough protein or slow carbs, your glucose crashes. The brain reacts as if it's in danger, flooding the system with adrenaline to wake you up. That adrenaline spike? That's what jolts you awake. That's what makes your heart race and your thoughts scatter. Annette, a 68-year-old woman from San Diego, had this exact experience. She told her doctor she was waking up feeling wired and scared at 3 a.m., even though nothing was wrong. After wearing a continuous glucose monitor for 2 weeks, they discovered her blood sugar was dropping dangerously low around that hour. The fix? A simple bedtime snack, a small slice of whole grain toast with almond butter. Within days, her sleep started to stabilize. This is why how you eat after 60 matters more than ever. Seniors often skip meals or eat too little at dinner, not realizing their metabolism has changed. The body still needs fuel, even if it's not asking for it loudly. Now I want to mention something that might surprise you. Medication timing. So many seniors take multiple medications, blood pressure pills, diuretics, statins, sleep aids. But not all pills should be taken at night. Some, like diuretics, increase urination and contribute directly to waking up early. Others affect your liver's nighttime detox rhythm. If your medications make you feel lightheaded or dizzy when you wake up, or if you always wake at the same time every night, it's time to talk with your doctor about changing your medication schedule. Adjusting the timing by even 2 hours can radically change your sleep quality. And don't underestimate the power of your sleep environment. Seniors are more sensitive to temperature changes, light exposure, and even the electromagnetic noise from things like Wi-Fi routers, phones, or televisions left on standby. A cooler room, around 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius, blackout curtains, and turning off devices can reduce nighttime cortisol and help your brain ease into deeper sleep stages. Remember Frank from earlier? After realizing his late-night wake-ups were linked to glucose crashes and light pollution, he made just 3 changes. A bedtime protein snack, blackout curtains, and switching his phone to airplane mode overnight. He told me, "I thought I was waking up because I was old. Turns out, I was just out of rhythm." But now I want to touch on something deeper, something we can't measure with a glucose monitor or blood test. And that's the emotional memory stored in your nervous system. Do you ever wake up at 3 a.m. with no clear reason, but a strange, unsettled feeling? Like your heart is carrying something your mind can't quite name? This is real. And it's more common than people admit. After 65, we carry a lifetime of memories. Regret. Loss. Decisions we replay in the quiet of the night. For many seniors, 3 a.m. is the hour when the emotional weight of decades surfaces, because that's when the conscious mind is at rest and the subconscious starts to speak. Psychologists call it that hour of the soul. It's when unresolved grief, forgotten sadness, or unfinished conversations come up, not to torment you, but to be released. This is why many seniors find comfort in journaling before bed. Or simply saying a prayer, not out of ritual, but as a way to clear the slate. Writing down what you're grateful for. Or what you want to forgive. Or even what you still hope for. This isn't just spiritual, it's therapeutic. One of my viewers, Margaret, said something that stayed with me. "Waking at 3 a.m. used to make me feel cursed. But now I think maybe it's the time I get to meet myself, without distraction." That's the wisdom of age. And that's what this channel is about, elderly reflections, not just symptoms. If you found these insights helpful so far, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more motivation, elderly health inspiration, and life lessons that matter. And let me know in the comments, are you waking up at 3 a.m.? And what city or country are you watching from? We've still got more to explore, because your body may be speaking a language that, once understood, could change how you sleep and how you live. Let's take a deeper breath and keep going, because if you've been waking at 3 a.m., night after night, it's time to not just cope with it, but understand it. And perhaps even welcome it, not as a problem, but as a message. Now we need to talk about one of the most overlooked, yet powerful factors in this pattern, your circadian rhythm. After 60, your internal clock, governed by the suprachiasmatic nucleus in your brain, starts to drift. It becomes more fragile, more reactive to small changes. That's why a little light from your hallway, the flicker of your phone charging next to your bed, or even a late evening conversation can shift your sleep window dramatically. In younger years, these things might have gone unnoticed. But seniors often become phase advanced, meaning their natural sleep and wake times creep earlier. That 3 a.m. wake up? It might be your brain thinking the day has started, especially if your melatonin production has declined, which it naturally does after 60. But here's the kicker. Melatonin doesn't just help you sleep. It also helps your cells repair. It modulates immune function. It calms inflammation. And in older adults, the drop in melatonin is one of the key reasons sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented, and more vulnerable to stress. So what can you do? Try exposing yourself to natural light first thing in the morning, ideally within 30 minutes of waking. It resets your clock. It tells your body, this is morning. And just as importantly, reduce blue light exposure in the evening. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Dim your lights. Let your brain wind down like the sun does. Because once you realign your body to light and dark cycles, that mysterious 3 a.m. moment often fades away. But sometimes, the light that wakes you up isn't external, it's internal. And this is where I want to end, with the deeper emotional landscape that seniors often walk through in silence. There's something about 3 a.m. that feels spiritual. Maybe it's because the world is still. Maybe it's because the distractions are gone. But that hour is when many older adults begin to think about legacy. About missed chances. About the people they've loved and lost. It's when the old photo albums in our memory open themselves, page by page. It's when a widow wakes, turns to the empty side of the bed, and whispers good morning to someone who isn't there. It's when a grandfather remembers the face of his younger brother, lost to war. It's when a mother silently forgives herself for mistakes she made when she didn't know better. At 3 a.m., everything is honest. There's no mask. No busy schedule to hide behind. Just you, your breath, and the weight, or piece, of your own story. And that's why this hour can be a gift too. A time to listen. Not to the noise of the world, but to the wisdom of your life. If you're waking at 3 a.m., maybe your body isn't broken. Maybe it's trying to bring you back, to presence, to reflection, to purpose. So here's what I invite you to do. The next time it happens, don't fight it. Don't reach for the phone. Don't rush to silence it. Instead, sit quietly. Place your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. And ask yourself, what part of me needs to be heard? Maybe it's your health asking for better care. Maybe it's your spirit asking for peace. Or maybe it's just the universe giving you a few quiet minutes to be fully alive, fully aware, fully grateful. Because you're still here. You're still breathing. And that means you still matter. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who's also been up at night, wondering why. Like the video, subscribe for more inspiration rooted in real senior experiences, senior health, and the quiet, powerful truth of elderly wisdom. And tell me, where are you watching from tonight? I read every comment. Every reflection. Because this isn't just a channel, it's a conversation between hearts that have lived. Here's to finding peace, even at 3 a.m.